Welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you guys with the most up-to-date political, economic and geostrategic analysis on the world's #2 economy. My name is Tony. Let's jump in. Okay, happy Saturday everyone. Before we start with the main developments, one brief update. Now that China has moved past the worst of its massive COVID wave, the European Union has announced that it will ease COVID-19 testing requirements for people travelling from China by the end of February, and will end random tests of travellers from China by mid-March. We remember in January, a number of major nations around the world introduced restrictions on travellers from China as a record wave of infections that, combined with a lack of reliable data on the outbreak, sparked concerns about the possibility of new strains of the virus emerging. A number of nations still have these measures in place. Okay, first up, during trading yesterday, Friday, one of China's top investment banks, China Renaissance Holdings Limited, saw its share prices plummet as much as 50% after the company confirmed that its founder and chairman was unreachable. At the end of the trading day, the shares closed down 28%. Billionaire Bao Fan is chief executive officer and controlling shareholder of the bank, and is largely considered China's leading supporter of technology startups, having backed players like Neo Inc., as well as a prominent matchmaker, having worked on mergers with Didi and Kuaidi and Ctrip and Qunar to create Trip.com. On Thursday, Chinese financial media outlet Caixin had reported that Bao had been out of contact with the company for 4 days, forcing the bank to confirm the report later on in the day. Investors fear that Bao has been detained by the authorities. Last year in September, the banking group's president, Cong Lin, was arrested by police on corruption charges. There are other possibilities too. Quote, "Best case, he is assisting an investigation and will be released after he provides what the authorities want. Detaining Bao Fan, if not the top banker in the PRC tech industry, is going to do wonders for giving private entrepreneurs confidence that things have changed for the better." End quote. There are wider concerns than just the technology sector too, however. Quote, "Bao's disappearance stirred concerns about China's financial sector, which has been rattled by anti-corruption crackdowns in recent years." End quote. It is not clear whether this potential detention is a one-off event or part of a wider unfolding campaign to go after corruption in the financial sector. China Renaissance is estimated to have about 48.6 billion yuan, $7.1 billion under investment management. Okay, next up, the economy. And first, we have yet another strong sign that Beijing will be pushing consumption as a priority this year. On Thursday, the party's flagship magazine, Qiushi, published the speech of General Secretary Xi Jinping, which he made at the important policy-setting Central Economic Work Conference back in December. In the speech, Xi expressed that policy needed to prioritize restoring and expanding consumer spending this year and, quote, "fully unleash the consumption potential of Chinese households," end quote. Of course, we have anticipated that China will likely see a boost in consumption this year as households emerge from the zero-COVID era. The question is, how big will this boost be and for how long will it last? Exports will likely be weak this year, as will housing construction, and fiscally constrained and debt-burdened local governments will want to keep infrastructure spending within a reasonable range as much as possible. One of the tools to increase consumption, she says, is to increase consumer credit. Though, as we have explored in previous videos, policymakers have very limited space left to rely on consumer credit. In the same speech, Xi also called on his government to leverage policies to attract more foreign investment, providing, quote, "maximum convenience," end quote, for foreign investors to engage in trade and investment negotiations in China. According to the Ministry of Commerce, new utilized foreign direct investment in both November and December last year fell by more than 20% year-on-year. Okay, we have one more economic update to cover, this one on the housing crisis. Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's episode of China Update, don't forget to hit that like button. I've noticed over the last 24 hours or so, YouTube has deleted a few hundred subscribers. I've had a few contact me and say they've been unsubscribed, so if you believe you should be subscribed to the channel, it may be worth checking this now. And as always, anyone who can go that extra mile and help me keep the channel financially sustainable, Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are in the description below. Thank you so much, everybody, for the ongoing support. Okay, Chinese financial media outlet Caixin reports yesterday that a number of Chinese provinces have said that they will start trial plans to require developers to only list finished homes for sale. Quote, as an ongoing industry-wide liquidity crisis has highlighted the pre-sale model's problems. End quote. According to the outlet, provincial housing departments in Henan, Shandong, Anhui, and Sichuan will start or encourage eligible cities to start such pilot programs this year, according to their work plans announced between the 31st of January and the 7th of February. We remember back in January, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Development signalled that eligible local governments should require developers to complete project construction before selling them. Policymakers hope that the move will restore the shattered confidence in the housing market. However, this move does put renewed liquidity pressure on developers by once again undermining the traditionally popular pre-sales model of financing. Indeed, the last time the government clamped down on this funding channel in the early days of the Evergrande crisis, it led to suspended construction, which triggered a wave of angry homeowners refusing to pay their mortgages last year. The so-called mortgage boycott crisis. Banning pre-sales again now means developers will need to turn to bank and bond markets, neither of which is likely to present a warm reception for developers. Okay, now let's finish today's episode by looking at the Iranian President Raisi's visit to Beijing. According to state media, General Secretary Xi Jinping met with Raisi on Tuesday for a 3-day trip in Beijing, where the two leaders agreed on deepening China-Iran comprehensive strategic partnership. State-run Xinhua writes that the visit, quote, accelerated the implementation of the 25-year agreement between the two countries, end quote, adding that after the meeting, the two leaders jointly witnessed the signing of a number of bilateral cooperation documents. Iranian media outlet Fars, F-A-R-S, writes that the country also hopes to sign transportation contracts worth $12 billion with Beijing, including a high-speed rail link between Tehran and the northern city of Mashhad, as well as investments in the capital's international airport. Some Chinese commentators are also boasting, perhaps prematurely, the strategic aspects of the visit, with the state-run Global Times writing on Thursday, quote, Chinese experts said that in contrast to the US's waning influence in the Middle East, regional countries, including Iran, are seeking diversified relations with other countries. End quote. This is not the first time that state media has mused at the idea of China being more involved strategically in the Middle East. The face-to-face between the leaders may not have been as rosy as state media presented it, however. On Monday, President Raisi had told Iranian media that there had been a, quote, serious regression, end quote, in Iran's relationship with China, and that trade ties were not up to standard in his mind. Tehran may still be smarting after she snubbed Iran in December, while going ahead with a trip to Saudi Arabia, a trip in which she released a joint statement with the kingdom that criticized Iran's, quote, destabilizing regional activities, end quote. Beijing may be beginning to understand the difficulties of Middle East policy. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.